Brandon Roy's story is one of the saddest in NBA history, an amazing player whose body just wouldn't let him play. After a 21-61 record finish in the 2005-2006 season, the Portland Trail Blazers were in need of a serious rebuild. During the 2006 NBA draft, the Blazers had one of the best drafts of all time. They were able to bring in both LaMarcus Aldridge and Brandon Roy through trade in the same draft. The way they got Aldridge was Portland drafted Tyrese Thomas with the number 4 pick in the draft, and they traded Victor Krajpa and Tyrese Thomas to Chicago for LaMarcus Aldridge and a conditional second-round pick in the 2007 NBA draft. And to get Roy, they did 2 trades. The first trade was the Blazers traded Sebastian Telfair, Theo Ratliff, and a 2008 second-round pick to the Boston Celtics for Randy Foye, who was the 7th pick in the draft, Dan DeCau, and center Raif LaFrentz. And then they took Randy Foye and traded him to the Minnesota Timberwolves for Brandon Roy. During the 2006-2007 season, the Blazers, led by Zach Randolph's 23.6 points per game, they improved from the season before to a 32-50 record, but that was still not enough to make the playoffs. Roy put up a solid 16.8 points per game in his rookie season, enough to earn him the Rookie of the Year award. During the 2007-2008 season, Roy improves and puts up a 19.1 points per game season and gets to his first All-Star game. He also led the Blazers to a 13-game win streak in December, and they improved to an even 41-41 record, although that was still not enough to make the playoffs. During the 2008-2009 preseason, Roy underwent a procedure where the team physician removed a piece of cartilage that was causing irritation in Roy's left knee. On November 6th, Roy hit what seemed to be the game winner versus the Rockets, but Yao Ming came back with an and-one post fadeaway with 0.8 seconds left on the clock. Roy came back and made this.
There's Blake to Roy. This is for the win. Brandon Roy with a 3-3 on the Blazers. I beat the Rockets in overtime.
Undoubtedly the best season of Roy's career. He was an All-Star again, and he finished 9th in MVP voting and made the second All-NBA team, averaging 22.6 points per game. The Blazers improved again to a 54-28 record, but lost in the first round to the Rockets in 6. During the 2009-2010 NBA season, Roy was sidelined with a hamstring injury. He was still selected for his 3rd straight All-Star appearance. On April 11th, Roy injured his right knee. He underwent surgery and was expected to miss at least the first round of the playoffs, but he returned for Game 4 after 8 days of recovery to lead the Blazers to a win. Roy was named to the All-NBA 3rd team, and the Blazers finished with the 50-32 record, but lost to the Suns in 6 in the first round again. During the 2010-2011 NBA season, Roy started at his normal rate, but his knees were ailing due to a lack of cartilage in both knees. Roy would never be the same. He helped the Blazers come back to beat the Mavericks in Game 4 of the first round. Although the Blazers lost in 6 games, it gave Roy hope to return the following season. The Blazers still finished with the 48-34 record without Roy most of the season, enough for the playoff berth. During the offseason between the 2011 and 2012 NBA season, doctors told Roy he shouldn't play any more basketball due to the lack of cartilage in both of his knees. Roy announced his retirement. Brandon Roy attempted a comeback in the 2012-2013 NBA season with the Minnesota Timberwolves, but he obviously wasn't at his All-Star level. But what if we could do it over? What if we could answer one of the biggest what-ifs in NBA history? What if Brandon Roy never got injured? So let's rewind. Up until the 2010-2011 season, everything stays the same. We won't change Roy's hamstring injury during the 2009-2010 season because every NBA player goes through some injury, and that isn't the injury we were focusing on. He probably would have sustained it anyway. So we move straight into the 2010-2011 season. Because of Roy not being hurt, The Blazers win one more game in the regular season and still find themselves matched up against the Dallas Mavericks in the first round, but lose in 7 games instead of the original 6 because it was Dirk's year. The Mavericks still go on and win the NBA Finals, and Dirk wins the MVP. During the 2011-2012 season, the Blazers win 38 games and lose in the first round to the Spurs in 6 games. Roy still puts up 21 points per game, enough to make his 4th All-Star appearance, but the Blazers obviously needed another asset. During the 2012 NBA Draft,
the Portland Trail Blazers select Damian Lillard of Weber State University.
The Blazers still picked Damian Lillard because the pick was received in a deal from the Nets, so the Blazers still had that pick and they still picked Damian Lillard because they needed a point guard. The Blazers, however, don't pick Tyler Zeller, but they get Marquise Teague. So their lineup moving into the 2012-2013 NBA season was as following. Point guard was Damian Lillard, they had Brandon Roy at shooting guard, Batum at small forward, LaMarcus Aldridge at power forward, and JJ Hickson at center. The Blazers would win 58 games tied with San Antonio for the 2nd seed, but San Antonio owns the tiebreaker, so the Blazers get the 3rd seed. The Blazers match up against the Golden State Warriors in the first round, but they beat them easily in 5 games because the Warriors are not yet developed enough to make a deep playoff run. They then move on to face the Spurs in the 2nd round. This time they were too strong for the San Antonio Spurs, and they beat them in 6. The Trailblazers then move on to face the Memphis Grizzlies in the conference finals, and they sweep them easily because the Grizzlies are young and inexperienced and shouldn't have been in the conference finals to begin with. So they find themselves matched up against the Miami Heat with the Big Three with LeBron, Chris Bosh, and Dwayne Wade. The teams trade the first 4 games, each winning on their home floor, and then the Blazers win in Game 5, giving them a 3-2 lead in the NBA Finals. Game 6, like the real NBA Finals between the Spurs and Heat, had the Blazers dominate early and take a commanding lead. The Heat fans, sure they have lost, leave the building, only to find that Miami comes back and James hits a 3 to bring them within 2 with 20 seconds left. This time, the ball is inbounded to Roy, who gets fouled immediately and sinks them both, showing off his clutch gene. With the Blazers being out 4, James takes a 3 and misses. The Blazers, however, grab the rebound, which eliminates Ray Allen's shot, and secure the ball. They make free throws and win the NBA Finals. And that is how they end their 2012-2013 NBA season, with the Portland Trail Blazers being NBA champions. Roy, averaging 27 points per game in the NBA Finals, is named your Finals MVP. Now, would this have really happened? No one will ever know, but it is fun to think what would have happened if Brandon Roy never got injured. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and also leave a like if you enjoyed this video. It did take a ton of time to make, so I would really appreciate if you guys would like, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel to catch all the new content, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm out, guys. Peace.